guys. Welcome to the Burn Boot Camp podcast. Jon Metzger here, athlete, trainer, and owner of a couple of Burn Boot Camps myself. So I'm going to talk about athlete games today. So I think the upcoming athlete games, are important for trainers to be able to express themselves, to show what they can do themselves outside of just training on the floor. It's a chance for them to get in there, compete, and show off with some of the best in Burn Nation. So it's always exciting when athlete games come around. For my prior athlete games, I kind of went 1 year on, 1 year off, 1 year on. This year would be my year off. We opened a couple of gyms, so we're probably going to be a little bit too busy for me to do it this year, but it's always fun. It's always a commitment to myself, and I know that those athletes that are in it, it takes a lot of time, a lot of discipline. It's something that's just really important. So owners, if you have trainers that are in athlete games, love on them. It's really, really tough to be training and be committing to athlete games at the same time. So it's a really, really good thing. I competed, in 2 prior athlete games. I think my first one was 2020. I took 2021 off. Then I came back in 2022. I'll probably take this year off, and then I guess next year would be when I would potentially come back around to it. So I think I learned a lot about myself in athlete games. The workouts to me are designed to get you to a point where you question yourself and you want to quit. You have to work out to the point where you want to quit, and then you've got to push through that and find another gear. So that part of it is always fun for me. It's like getting to that part of a workout where you're telling yourself to quit, you don't do it, you push through it, and then you build that confidence out of it, just like a member on the floor. So that part of it to me is kind of really cool, and what kind of keeps me coming back. I think it's really a cool thing to be a part of the athlete games with all the trainers from across the country who are really committed to delivering that experience every single day to the members. And this is an opportunity for them to kind of go and show what they can do, and that they are just as committed to this Burn Boot Camp experience as the members themselves. So I think it's really, really cool. I think thinking about training for the games, I think there's different ways to do it. I think a lot of people will break up the workouts, do them in sets. For me, I always was more comfortable just running through what the workout was. Like the sack, I never broke up the sack. I would just go straight through the sack, and that was how I practiced for it, was straight through in the order that I was going to do it. When it came to the separate events, I kind of did the same thing. I never was really too comfortable mixing it up and breaking it up into sets. I got more comfortable finding little areas where I could pick up a little speed or shave off a little time just in transitions from one movement to another. You may be setting a kettlebell down and then picking up weights or jumping on a box or something like that. And usually for me, by going through it straight through, I would kind of learn a little bit each time about where there were opportunities to pick up a little bit more time, where I got really tired, where I was deficient, which was most of the time probably for me. And that for me kind of worked. I think one of the biggest things I know in the first athlete games for me was that I lost a lot of muscle. I was really concentrating on endurance, and I was just thinking about endurance, and I didn't do enough of the strength side of it. So for any athlete that's competing, just make sure you're getting that strength in as well. It's probably obvious to most people, but it wasn't obvious to me in the first games. I was really trying to focus more on the cardio aspect of it, and I think I would have been better off if I had more of a balance between cardio and strength. I think as far as regionals, kind of the qualification process, that's kind of a really fun thing for me. There's a lot of people at regionals. Your members are there. It's kind of local because it's got just your region there, so you're seeing FPs that you know and a lot of trainers that you know and friends in a local setting. So that's always very, very comfortable to me. I usually I guess put a little bit more pressure on myself once it comes to finals. The regionals, I'm usually pretty relaxed, go right into the events, and don't have too much anxiety there. I know my biggest thing is just making sure that I get the doubles in a row. The 25 dubs in a row is always a big thing. And then once I get that, I feel pretty cool, and then I can just kind of flow after that. I think that you definitely feed off of the energy of the room in athlete games, and that's a really cool thing. Regionals is usually packed. There's a lot of people. You have a couple people supporting you and yelling for you, and you do hear them when you're on the floor, and that's a really cool thing, especially if you get towards the ledge and you've got all your people right on the edge of the ledge and they're really pouring into you and yelling. That really is uplifting, and it's a cool thing to see, to be on the other side of it, because a lot of times as trainers we're cheerleading for our members on the floor, and we're telling them to keep going and stay in it and not stop and things like that. And to have that flipped around is really cool. And I think just people, probably in general, a lot of the members like to just yell at us for a change when we're working. So that's probably part of it, is flipping it around for them is probably just as much fun as them going through it. So I think, challenges in the games, I think thinking back, like one of the toughest events for me, I think, was the 100 burpees. And I think, and that was the opener, I think, 3 years ago. So to me, that was really, really tough. I think I had just a strength deficiency for it, and the last 20 or so were just really super struggle bus. So if I had to do it again, I would definitely be adding in that strength with chest press and things like that to make sure that I had enough muscle going in, because I definitely, the energy went out. I felt like the strength wasn't there. To me, that was one of the harder, they're all hard, but that was one of the harder ones that I had, just to get through the movement itself. So I think that in general, athlete games make, for me personally, I think probably everybody has their own takeaways from it, but I think it reminds me of what it's all about. It just reminds me that we're all working towards something. We're working towards a goal, and there's always another level. And whenever I'm in my comfort zone, and I know athlete games is coming up, if I'm going to do it that year, like I'm not doing it this year, but I'll probably come back to it next year, I know that I'm about to kick it up a notch. I know I'm about to take it up to a new level, and that's really cool to kind of challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone and really do something really difficult. We're asking the members to do that every single day, and for us to get out there and get a chance to do it as well is a lot of fun, because we don't want to get in a rut. We don't want to get comfortable. I don't want to stay in that one lane that's just not easy, but where there's a higher gear and I'm not hitting it. So athlete games is usually an opportunity for me to do that, and I always look forward to it. So I will be looking forward to getting back into that hopefully next year, and challenge myself again. Not that I don't challenge myself in camp, but athlete games is kind of that next level opportunity to do that. I think that it is great to have a gym that rallies around their trainer, because the trainer pours into all of these people, and then you've got this whole community that then turns that around onto their trainers and really, really just supports their people and comes out and they truly believe in them. They want to see them working and doing their best. And it's a lot of fun just to watch, even in the heats that you're not in. And when you're watching another event, other athletes compete, it's just really cool to see those gym communities supporting their athletes. And it's just fun. It's just an extension of what I feel like the burn community is all about. And it's another way to really live that life. So if you haven't been to an athlete event, either a regional or a final, definitely take the time and go to it. It definitely puts it on another level. The energy is through the roof. There's usually a lot of emotions, and it's just in a good way. It just really reinforces that sense of community to me. So. Well, thanks for everyone for listening today to kind of my experiences and my take on athlete games. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's take it out with 2 claps on 2. 1, 2.